Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. I'm Mark, and I'm here with Emma.
Hi, Mark. Hi, everyone. So, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're asking a big question. Do you have to speak perfect English? This is something that affects learners all over the world. Many people believe they need to sound flawless to be taken seriously.
Oh, that's a good one. I think a lot of people worry about this.
Exactly. Many people feel nervous when they make mistakes in English, but is it really necessary to be perfect? It might not be as important as you think.
Hmm, I guess we'll find out.
Yes, we will. Stay with us as we explore this topic and share some helpful tips. Let's get started. All right, Emma, let's start by talking about why people want to speak perfect English. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think many people feel that if they don't speak perfectly, others might judge them. There's often this fear that one small mistake will overshadow everything else they say.
That's true. I've heard that a lot. Some people worry that making mistakes will make them look less intelligent.
Yes. And I think for work or school, people feel pressure to speak very clearly and correctly.
Exactly. In job interviews or presentations, speaking well can feel really important. But sometimes, we put too much pressure on ourselves. Perfectionism can actually hold us back from showing our true abilities.
Right. I remember when I first started learning Spanish, I was so afraid of making mistakes that I didn't speak much at all.
I understand that. But here's the thing. Mistakes are part of learning. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. In fact, those mistakes can help you grow and improve over time.
That's true. I guess we all want to sound professional, but perfection isn't always necessary.
Absolutely. It's important to try your best, but the goal should be to communicate, not to be perfect.
I like that idea.
So, Emma, let's get to the big question. Is it really necessary to speak perfect English?
I think it depends. In some situations like work, it might help. But in daily life, I don't think it's that important. Most conversations are about sharing ideas, not impressing people with flawless grammar.
I agree. The truth is, most people just want to understand and be understood. You don't need perfect grammar for that.
Exactly. In Spain, I remember once I was traveling and needed directions. I didn't say everything perfectly, but people still understood me and helped.
That's a great example. Communication is more important than perfection. In fact, many famous people who speak English as a second language don't speak perfectly, and they are still successful. Their confidence and ability to connect with others make all the difference.
Oh, so true. Like actors or athletes who give interviews in English. They make mistakes, but no one really cares.
Yes. And did you know that even native speakers don't always follow grammar rules in casual conversations? Language is more fluid than many people realize.
That's true. I hear slang and informal language all the time.
Right. English is flexible, and it changes depending on where you are and who you're talking to. A little mistake won't stop people from understanding you. In fact, sometimes mistakes can make conversations more interesting and personal.
I guess that takes the pressure off. It's more about being confident and trying.
Exactly. Confidence can make a big difference. Now, let's talk about why communication is more important than perfection.
I'm looking forward to it.
So, Emma, what would you say about it? Why is communication more important than perfect English?
I think this is such an important point, Mark. At the end of the day, the goal is to express yourself and connect with others, right? Imagine you're at a restaurant. You don't need perfect grammar to order food. You just need to be clear enough for the waiter to understand you.
That's a great example. I've made small mistakes while ordering, but I still got my food.
Absolutely.
And let's say you're asking for directions. People will understand even if you say, "Where is bus station?" instead of, "Where is the bus station?" It's the main point that matters, not the small mistakes.
Yes. Most people focus on the main idea, not the small mistakes.
And additionally, when you focus too much on speaking perfectly, it can actually stop you from speaking at all, which is worse.
Oh, I've felt that. Sometimes I didn't say anything in Spain because I was afraid of making a mistake.
Exactly. But silence won't help you learn. Speaking, even with mistakes, helps you overcome your fears and improve.
That's so true. I've learned a lot just by trying and talking to people.
See? It's all about practicing. As long as people understand you, you're doing great. As long as you can get across your idea so people understand you, you're doing great.
I love that. So, Mark, what can people do to feel more confident when speaking?
I'm glad you asked. Let's give our listeners some tips to feel more confident when speaking English. Confidence is often more noticeable than accuracy.
Great idea. I think one of the best tips is to practice as much as possible. The more you speak, the easier it gets.
I agree. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone makes them, even native speakers.
Yes, sometimes I even laugh at my Spanish mistakes. It helps me relax and remember the right way next time.
That's a great attitude. Another tip is to speak slowly. You don't have to rush. Taking your time helps you think about what you want to say.
Oh, I love that tip. Also, listening to English, like podcasts or TV shows, can really help. You pick up new words and phrases naturally.
Absolutely. And remember, the goal is to communicate, not to be perfect.
Exactly. Just keep going and don't give up.
Well said, Emma. Let's wrap things up in the next part. I think we've covered some really important points today.
Yes. We talked about why people want to speak perfect English, and we learned that communication matters more than perfection.
Exactly. We also shared tips to help build confidence when speaking. Remember, making mistakes is part of the learning process.
That's right. Just keep practicing and focus on being understood, not being perfect.
Thanks for joining us today, everyone. We hope you feel more confident about speaking English.
See you next time for another fun and helpful episode.
Take care and keep studying. Let's start today's words. The first word is flawless.
Flawless.
It means something that has no mistakes or problems, perfect. For example, her performance was flawless. It means that her performance had no mistakes.
The second example is, the diamond is flawless and very expensive. It means that the diamond has no defects and is very valuable.
Now, to judge.
To judge.
It means to decide if something or someone is good or bad. For example, don't judge a book by its cover. It means that you should not decide if something is good or bad just by its appearance.
The second example is, the teacher will judge the students' speeches. It means that the teacher will decide how good or bad the speeches are.
And get across.
Get across.
It means to make someone understand something. For example, he used pictures to get his message across. It means that he used pictures to help people understand his message.
The second example is, she spoke slowly to get across her idea. It means that she spoke slowly so others could understand her idea.
To overcome.
To overcome.
It means to successfully deal with a problem or difficulty. For example, he worked hard to overcome his fear of speaking. It means that he found a way to stop being afraid of speaking.
The second example is, she overcame many challenges to become a doctor. It means that she faced and solved many difficulties to become a doctor.
The last word is at the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
It means after everything is considered, in the end. For example, at the end of the day, family is the most important. It means that after thinking about everything, family matters the most.
The second example is, we had some problems, but at the end of the day, we finished the project. It means that even though there were problems, the project was completed in the end.